Let's pop them.
I say we do.
Ready?
Why not? Let's do it up.
Cheers, brother.
First podcast.
Here we go.
Of my life.
Let's go. Podcast number 10
Exciting.
for me. We're drinking RX-Fit, a little bit of creatine.
A little bit of creatine, yeah.
Tad bit of caffeine. 45 milligrams.
Yep.
That's like less than a half cup of coffee.
Yeah. I'm at the cap for today.
You're done.
I'm close to like 600 milligrams for the day. This is a high day today.
Do you cap it at a certain number, or you just know when it's too much?
I usually can tell. Like I would start if I drink the caffeine and then I get tired, that's when I know I'm done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if I drink I don't know, sometimes I'll start the day out and I'll drink it, like on the weekend sometimes. And then I'll have like the first caffeine drink and I'll feel like the week of caffeine catching up to me on Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah.
So it's you got to take time off from it, I think.
Oh, 100%.
A couple days.
I'm kind of the same way.
Yeah.
Like if I didn't drink it at all Saturday, Sunday, I'd be like caffeine hangover.
I know.
Yeah, so I drink a little bit, but I try not to drink too much Saturday, Sunday. Almost, same thing to like give myself a break a little bit. But what did you have today? A couple pre-workouts or? Usually
I'll do I drink like a Celsius in the morning.
Yeah.
Because I love those are so good.
They're good.
The flavor's bomb. Usually if I don't have a Celsius, I'll just do like a couple of shots of espresso or just a black coffee. And then Nitroflex. You know how Nitroflex goes. Yeah. It gets you hooked up.
I took a couple scoops of that. That stuff's good.
Yeah.
No tingles either.
No tingles.
Yeah.
No, I don't really like the tingle feeling. Yeah. Do you?
Yeah. Once in a while, but not like I wouldn't want it every time. But once in a while, it's something different. Sure. I bought beta-alanine separate for a while.
You can cocktail it.
Yeah,
oh, yeah,
just to get a little bit of my own. Yeah.
Sometimes I'll do beta, agmatine, arginine, and then throw it all into the Nitroflex. It helps. It's good.
Yeah,
a little pump. A little pump matrix, you know what I mean? So,
what's going on, guys? Dr. Matt here. I am the host of the Rhody Strength podcast. I am the owner and physical therapist over at Strength and Sport. Got a special guest today, Zach O'Connor, bodybuilder, trainer, gym rat, all the above. So, without further ado, what's going on, Zach? Good to have you on.
Thanks for having me on, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
I'm excited
absolutely.
to be on here. This is sweet.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, I've a couple under my belt. I'm no pro, but like it flows. It's a good time. So let's rip into it.
Sweet.
Rapid fire.
Let's do it.
You ready?
Before we do, I want
people
that are listening to know I met Matt, about a year ago officially? Because you were over at the other gym.
I was a Spartan before, yeah.
So when we opened BullFrog, met Matt through Jeremiah. Jeremiah was going over there working out a little bit, and then once Matt came in, I lost trust with PTs and chiropractors because I had a bad injury in the past, so I went a little bit off the rails with that. But reconnecting with a good physical therapist has been a big change. So Matt's been a big help over the past year. So appreciate you, man.
I appreciate that, man. glad I found you too, and like you helped me out in my training so much. A big issue in CrossFit is that it's all high intensity. I mean, and that's the name of the game. It's high intensity reps, but if you don't get that bodybuilding style pump training, I think you miss the boat. On a lot.
Definitely.
And I've heard other types of training are the same way too, like Olympic style weightlifting, or just any type of like HIIT class that you do. Like if you don't get some of that bodybuilder style training, like that's where you grow. That's where the muscles get stronger. That's where you heal a lot of injuries. It's good for your joints. So that's been awesome for me. So
hell yeah.
And you crushed me in the workouts, which is great.
I have to. You give me no other choice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
Of course.
So first question for you.
What's that?
We get the best breakfast.
Best breakfast. Island.
Newport on the island.
On the island.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to stay loyal to the Quinn family. I'm gonna go with Hungry Monkey.
Hungry Monkey. All right.
I like them. I don't really eat out all the time, but when I do, if I had to pick a place to go, Hungry Monkey all day.
Okay.
So they're pretty good. Have you tried them?
I've been there once, years and years and years ago.
Yep.
But I gotta go back.
They're good.
Yeah.
They're good.
But what's the go-to there? Do you have
well, I went there one time. It's kind of funny. They have this challenge. It's called the Gorilla Challenge, and you got to eat.
I think I've seen that.
It's like a plate of literally everything on the menu. It's like a huge omelet with every single thing you could imagine. And if you finish it, it's free. But if you don't, it's like $40.
Oh my god!
So my buddy and I went in.
That's a big bet.
It was rough. We sat down. We were like super confident. I was like, easy. You know what I mean? I sit down. I didn't even make it through like a quarter of it.
No way.
It was rough.
Has anybody been able to eat it?
It said there was like 150 people that did it.
Wow.
Or I could be wrong, but there's a lot of people who tried and failed.
Yeah.
I was one of them. So it was not easy.
That would be cool if they had the stats, like how many people did it, how many people didn't do it.
I think they do have that.
Yeah, like thousands of people.
I had the numbers
tried.
way off, though.
Yeah.
But
it's like only 1% can do it. Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
Yeah.
How about best coffee?
Oh, best coffee? I'm going to be honest. I'm not really impressed around here unless I haven't been put on to the right place.
Okay.
Once you have coffee in like San Diego or like a place where, I don't know, I feel like places where the weather's nice year round, the coffee's the best. That's what I've noticed. Sure. I could be wrong. There might be a place I don't know about. If I had to pick a place on the island, probably Custom.
Yeah.
Custom House. They're good black coffee.
They're the best.
I like them.
Ash was in here the other day, and he had he brought his French press in.
Oh, no way.
And he had a bag of French press from Custom House. It was
good. Is that like the fancy thing he brought?
He brought the thing in. Yeah.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. That's a good spot. I feel that though, because I mean, coffee's not made in this region.
It's not.
It's made in warm weather regions. Like it's made in Hawaii. I think there's some California beans. I could be wrong on that, but Guatemala, like all those islands is like where it's made. So that makes sense.
How do you like your coffee? All blacked out?
I usually first cup in the morning is gotta be hot.
Okay.
Hot coffee, black. That's just like that gets me ready for the day, no matter what. Summertime doesn't matter. But after that, I usually switch to iced.
Nice.
Usually always black, but every once in a while I spice it up a little bit.
Okay.
I put a little cream and sugar every once in a while.
All right.
But I would say 99% of the time is black.
Nice.
Yeah.
There you go.
You too?
Always black.
Yeah.
I can't do hot coffee.
Really?
I can't do it. Even if I have a shot of espresso, I'll put it in a cup of ice right away.
That's good.
I think something about hot coffee just doesn't do me right.
Really?
Yeah, I hate it.
Upsets the stomach, or you just don't like the taste? Or?
I don't know. It's something about like maybe seeing my parents drink it the whole life. You know what I mean? I don't want to feel like a middle-aged person drinking black coffee all the time. You know what I mean? Or hot coffee. I like drinking cold coffee.
I feel you. I feel you on that. We'll hit the next question.
Yeah, what's up?
Favorite gym sneaker?
Barefoot.
You've switched back and forth.
Barefoot
I feel
all day.
Like. Yeah?
Yeah. I've gotten the best workouts in, especially legs, with no shoes on. And I know that's probably not the cleanest way to be about things in the gym, because, you know, but I've always played around with different sneakers. I had bad injuries, so the flat shoes, in my opinion, are probably the best for, like, compound lifting.
Totally, yeah.
But if you got bad hips and back, it was causing a lot of pain, so I had to switch to sneakers. But every time I go barefoot, for some reason, I feel the ground, and I just feel like everything's right. You know what I mean? So I feel the mind to muscle connection better too.
Oh, totally.
I know it sounds weird, but you can feel it a lot better. And I've also trained a couple of times with like a wooden shoe. It was like a wooden lifting shoe. It was like an old school lifting shoe.
Yep.
It was at a gym I used to go to, and you felt the difference. Like something about Tom Platz, the guy that I've been listening to for a while. He talks about how he never ever would go a day without squatting without wood under his feet.
Wow.
And that's, you know, every platform you see is all wood.
So. It's wood.
Yeah.
I think you get a better feel.
You do.
Yeah, you get a better feel for it.
There's something to do. I don't know the exact science behind the wood, but he talks about how they proved it. There was something about how the wood, by pressing through the wood, there's actually more force that can be generated.
Oh, that would make sense.
Something to do with the wood.
That makes sense.
I don't know the science behind it, but
I mean, if you want to over exaggerate it, if you're on rubber and you're pushing in, there's got to be some you're pushing into rubber,
absolutely,
it's compressing a little bit. But wood is just like it's hard. You know, you're not gonna be
something
pressing
to do with it.
So that makes sense.
Yeah,
that makes sense to me. Interesting.
It's cool.
I haven't tried. Those wooden sneakers are actually really hard to find.
They're expensive too.
They're very expensive.
They're rare.
They're rare.
They don't make them anymore.
They don't.
Who used to make them? There was a brand.
Adidas used to make them. There's a couple different brands that used to make them, but Adidas used to make them. And if you were to find a brand of them, they're hundreds of dollars because they stopped making them. They're all I think really really hard plastics now. or some similar compound. Yeah.
Gotta go barefoot.
Yeah. Unless, I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe they had like they reintroduced them. Maybe there's a company that reintroduced them, but I haven't seen them.
You want to know something funny?
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll work out in flip-flops.
Okay.
I ain't even playing.
Okay.
I got like this crazy mentality, and when I go really intense sometimes before a workout, I like to have some sort of like balancing aspect to my mindset. So I'll keep the flip-flops on because they keep me in some sort of like a chilled out mindset at the same time. So I'm not too crazy. But working out, yeah, like if I'm doing arms or shoulders, something about wearing flip-flops, man. You know, like my brother Jeremiah used to go like before wrestling matches, he would wear jeans.
Right.
And it would keep him like relaxed.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's kind of weird, but it's a weird little...
No, that makes sense.
I don't know. It's hard to explain.
They say, they said that's even before like the whole working from home pandemic thing, but like if you're at home and you're taking like a business call and you're in a shirt and tie, you're going to act. You're going to sound more professional.
Yeah.
If you're taking a business call at home and you're in like sweatpants and no shirt, you're going to just the attitude of like how you feel is going to come off on the phone for a lot of times. So like that makes sense to me.
Absolutely.
What you wear can like have an effect on how you act and how you
don't
feel.
Lift, don't deadlift, don't squat, and nobody in flip flops. Don't twist that shit.
No.
But if you're doing curls, throw the flip flop on.
Barefoot deadlift. A lot of people do that. Yeah. Barefoot squat.
Yeah, Arnold, all those guys, they used to squat no shoes back in the 70s. That was the way they did it. It was pretty cool.
That is cool.
You know, remember Pump and Iron?
Oh yeah.
Never saw a shoe on those guys. Not a single time.
That's true.
You know?
That's true. All right, let's hit it. Next question. Favorite piece of cardio equipment?
Stairmaster all day.
Yeah?
Yeah, I just like the concept of it. For me, it's the most, for somebody who comes in the gym for their first time, I find it to be the hardest thing for somebody. Because if you go on any other piece, you can kind of find a way. We talked about this. You can kind of find a way to like slack a little bit in a way. You can walk, you can do whatever. But on the Stairmaster, you're fighting gravity.
Yeah.
To like the most extreme level. There's another. The Jacob's ladder is insane, but not every gym has them.
Yeah.
But if you had to pick, like most common machines, I'd say the stairs because you're fighting gravity, and two, if you could barely hold on, but it's still mad difficult at the same time. We use the stairs as like the tool for every show, every time.
Really?
Oh yeah, that's like our cardio tool. You could do other forms of cardio, but for some reason it's kind of like a tradition for us. So yeah. How about you?
Yeah, and it sets the. I gotta go. Favorite piece. I like the rower.
Yeah,
I did some rowing in high school, so I feel like technically very proficient with it. Like I feel my technique is very good. So, and I can pull really hard on it. Compared to other rowers, I'm nothing special, but compared to an average person, like I can pull really hard on it, which I. So if it's in like some sort of CrossFit workout, like competition style workout, like the row is where I really excel.
Don't they? Isn't that what they do in competition, right?
Oh yeah,
rowing, right?
Yeah.
So it's more ideal, right?
Yeah. So I love it, and it feels good in the joints, pretty low impact, and you can really push hard on it. So I like it.
I like taking people especially new clients when they'll come in and they're about to do a back workout. I'll throw them on the rower.
Yeah,
because it gets everything going. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's a good way to warm the back up too.
Yeah, that's true. It's a big hinge, big hinge through your back.
But it's mostly legs.
It's mostly leg power.
Yep.
The back hinges. Yeah, finish with the arms.
Good.
A lot of people pull all arms, and it's not the way to do it.
Yeah,
it's to finish with the arms. That's interesting you said about the stairs too, though, because it makes sense. Because with a lot of equipment, minus a treadmill, your body kind of sets the pace of the speed.
Yeah.
But with the stairs, you click the button, that sets the pace. You better keep up, or you're going down.
If you can even go like level 5.
Yeah.
Which is real slow. You can just take your hands off.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll be like, we're going slow. We're gonna hold a 20-pound dumbbell. Yeah. We're gonna walk up these stairs for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You'll be dead. Yeah. You know what I mean? So. Stairs are tough.
Yeah, they're good, and it makes sense for a beginner because you don't need to have a lot of technique.
Oh yeah,
everyone can climb stairs.
It's a good way to get. A lot of people when they start working out too, like they don't. Most people I've noticed they have pretty much no leg strength. Like they never. Most people that come from like a very minimal gym background, they mostly train upper body. They don't really know how to train their legs. So when they get on the stair, it's a good way to warm the legs up, get the body going.
Yeah.
So it's a good piece.
Nice.
I like it.
I like it. All right, now the yin to the yang to that question. Favorite strength equipment? And we'll add a part B to that.
Okay.
How about just favorite?
Favorite? Well, can we go free weight and machine, or could we go? Does that have to be one thing?
All right, we'll go free weight and machine.
Free weight?
One
Okay.
one each.
Free weight. Man, I love barbells. I really do, but I'm gonna have to go with dumbbells.
Okay. Yeah.
Because you can just do a lot more with them, in my
Sure.
opinion. But you can do a lot with barbells as well.
Yep.
And for machine, I love back day. The hammer row we got upstairs.
Oh man, that thing's awesome.
The isolateral seated hammer strength row, my favorite piece. When I started bodybuilding, that was my favorite machine to do.
Yeah.
And to this day, I love it. You can load so much on that machine and just.
I think the hammer strength are great machines.
Yeah, because it's low risk, high reward.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You're getting max gains from those machines if you do them right, and you're not going to hurt yourself. You know what I mean?
And I love how a lot of machines, especially if you go to a place like Planet Fitness, a lot of it's just all locked into place.
Yeah.
So you could be pushing 90% with your right arm, and your left arm just going for the ride.
Yeah, you wouldn't even know.
You don't know it.
You wouldn't even know.
Hammer strength, it's different.
Yeah, it's like simulating free weights in a locked position.
In a locked position.
So you can't maneuver, but
high reward, low risk.
It is. It is. But for different body types, like that machine, I feel like that one's pretty good for most body types, but most machines are, for some people, they don't work for certain people, but for others, they work for better. So that's why free weights are always, the gold mine, because everybody's different. We all have different limbs, different physiques, so I think everybody can find a way to use any kind of machine. But
Sure.
I'd have to say that back row. How about you? What's your favorite one? If you had to pick one, you could only use one machine for the rest of your life, what would it be?
For machine?
Yeah.
Let's see. That's a good question. For strength machine.
Any kind of machine. Could be a calf machine, whatever you think. Whatever you feel like if you had to pick it forever, you couldn't do anything else.
Nothing else. As much as I hate it, I don't even know if I can say it out loud. The hack squat.
Let's go.
As much as I
trained you well.
I know.
I got you messed up.
Just because I'm thinking compound, working most of the body with that, and I like that better than the leg press.
I think, I might be wrong. When I trained you for the first time, had you ever done a hack squat?
No.
Okay. Sweet. It's helped your knees out, right?
Yeah,
a little bit?
Yeah. It's been good.
It's a crazy machine. A lot of people are scared of it.
Yeah, it's
intimidating for people that don't know what they're doing.
It's a little freaky looking.
It is.
But it works.
It's tough.
It's
especially the one we got upstairs, because it's a 60 degree.
Yeah.
So it's it's a steeper one. Usually in regular gyms, you get I think it's 40 degree hack squats. So it's a little bit less on the back and knees. But that one throws you right in the deep end. Yeah. That thing's tough.
You're going right in.
Yeah.
Learn how to swim, buddy.
Yep.
Nice.
So.
And then part B, kind of a apocalyptic end of the world question.
Ooh.
One piece of equipment you have the rest of your life. What are you taking?
Well, probably if I had to pick one thing to keep forever and couldn't do anything else, probably. If we're talking apocalypse, we're not going to need to be looking like a bodybuilder. We're going to need to be lean, mean, shredded up,
ready to fight off zombies.
So I'd probably say a multi-pull-up unit with a dip attached to it.
Nice.
You know what I'm talking about?
That's cheating, but I'll give it to you.
I'm going combo, you know what I mean? Yeah. Or just dumbbells, man. You know what I mean?
All right.
Give me 40 or 50-pound dumbbells and I'm happy.
Yeah.
I can do everything with that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
yeah. Perfect.
But
I like it. Those are good answers. I'd say dumbbells.
Dumbbells.
I like that. Yeah, there's a ton of stuff you can do with dumbbells.
Everything.
All right, we're stepping away from the gym rapid fire for a second. We're getting to look a little
what you got?
Pop culture.
All right, let's see it.
Celebrity crush.
Celebrity crush. Oof. Probably. We all agree on this. First time you watched Transformers. Megan Fox.
Of course.
Yeah, Megan Fox. 100%.
Fox. Yeah.
Since I was little, you know what I mean? That was the OG. That was the OG crush from middle school.
Seriously.
Megan Fox. How about you? Who's your celebrity crush? Let's hear it.
Oh man, I think Megan Fox is a good one. I also go towards athletics.
Okay.
When I think of it.
Yep.
I've been watching a lot of Olympics lately. I gotta say Maddie Rogers. She's an Olympic weightlifter, crushing it, really strong, super.
She got gold?
Beautiful. She did not. She was she was in a position where she could have medaled. Did really well in her. She made a good comeback. I think she missed. So you have 3 lifts for snatch, 3 lifts for clean and jerk. I think she hit 2 of her snatch. I could be wrong on that. And she think she missed her first 2 clean and jerks, and then it was a do or die moment. She had to hit her last one, or she wasn't even gonna have like a qualify as a total. And she came out like, I mean, you're exhausted at that point.
Yeah,
and she came out like basically eyes watering, like just fucking pissed, and like and crushed it. I'm like, let's go.
No way.
Yeah. So she wasn't happy with her performance, but the fact that we got some U.S. men and women on the Olympic squad in general is like I'm happy with, because that's not how it's been the past few years. So
I'm guilty.
Yeah, I
haven't been watching it. So I feel bad.
I've been sending you some screenshots though. Yeah. So that's mine. And this next question kind of relates into that. Favorite athlete.
Favorite athlete. Okay, I got a lot of them.
Yeah.
My favorite athlete growing up. A lot of people ain't gonna like this, but Mayweather, because.
Okay. Money Mayweather.
I used to love watching him fight because, everybody when they tune into boxing, they're casuals. They want to see a knockout. But I used to love watching the art of boxing. I used to like watching, somebody go out there against, the best in the world and, go out there to try to, hit somebody else and not get hit back by literally the best people on the planet. Yeah. This guy did that for his whole career, never lost. Yeah. So I thought that was crazy. He beat 16 world champs in a row in his prime. No one's ever done that. So, gonna give it to him. He has a lot of videos on YouTube. I used to watch like motivational workout videos that pumped me up when I first started working out. So he was one of my people, and I love his cockiness. I love the way he used to, because if you think about it, everybody's like Conor McGregor is like the best trash talker, and he probably is. But it all started with Ali.
Oh yeah,
and then Ali talked all
like
that
a butterfly stinging a bee.
All that trash, and then he got.
Let me tell you how great I am.
Yep. And then Mayweather used to he talks about how he took all these different great fighters, including Ali's personality, and put it into himself and made himself this, combo fighter, everything all in one. So watching that, growing up, I was able to see the back end of his career as a younger kid. So it was pretty cool seeing all that, and then. If I had to pick somebody else, probably Jules.
Julian Edelman.
Yeah, just because of how tough he is.
He is tough, dude. He's a tough player.
And the problem with Jules is he was always in the shadows of Brady. When Brady was playing for the Patriots, it's like we didn't appreciate him that much. You know what I mean? Because he's just such a beast, and Brady was the head of attention. But everybody forgets how clutch.
Oh, he was a huge impact player for our team.
We wouldn't have won half of those.
All those slot passes, to the outside, the quick routes, slant, routes.
All those games.
Yeah.
Seattle Super Bowl. Crazy. Dude. The catch against the Falcons.
The
playoff games. Everybody forgets, but hey. I miss him. I'm sad he's retired. He's one of my favorites. How about you? Who's your favorite athlete?
Let's see. So, Brady's an obvious one. I got the TB12 book right here for the video watchers.
Can you tell him I'm still a little butthurt he left? I'm still.
I'm a slight Bucks fan now, but I just like to watch Brady win. And Gronk's down there.
Yep.
So he'd be my number one. Let's see, if I had to pick a second. He's not the most popular guy in the world right now, but I love Conor McGregor.
Okay.
Dude, he's super
tough, entertaining.
Dude, he's super entertaining. He knows how to sell a fight.
Yep.
I think he's gonna be, if he continues his career, he's gonna be in a tough spot. I think it's gonna be hard for him to win fights, but I think he can make a comeback.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think he can make a comeback. He's got a titanium rod in his leg. He has a titanium rod. So
all right, that's fair.
He's had issues with that leg, and now that leg's fixed. I think he's gonna be good to go. So he's a hard worker. I remember. You saw his documentary?
Oh yeah.
He trains, man. He trains hard. He trains jiu-jitsu. He trains sparring.
Here's the problem, though. He's gonna be inactive. All these Conor McGregor fans listening, you don't realize that. The sport of MMA, on on an evolutionary status. Like, think about the last 5 years. I mean, think about 5 years ago when Conor was tearing through the division. 145, went to 155, and then went away from MMA, boxed Floyd, and then came back. Wasn't really the same fighter.
No, he wasn't.
Compared to where he was before he went and boxed.
After that match, he wasn't the same.
Just not the same. And I feel like once you get all that money, it's not the same. But hey, I mean, I'm open for it. I'd like to see him come back, make a comeback. It'd be great. But Dustin's a killer, man.
Dustin's a killer.
Dustin, you ain't beating Dustin.
And also, after he fought Khabib, he was even less of the same. I feel like because he just got murdered by Khabib.
No one's beating Khabib. Khabib's like right up here.
Yeah,
it wasn't even close.
I'm excited to see his training partner start sparring. Has he fought yet?
Who Khabib's training partner?
Yeah.
Well, which one? Because he had a bunch of them.
Oh, I didn't even know. I thought it was one guy who was like the spotlight guy. That was
I think it's what's his face? His name. I'm drawing a blank right now on his name. But I think he just won like 2 weeks ago. Look at him.
Because he's gonna be. I think he's gonna be.
I'm dead right now. I can't believe I can't remember his name.
Training partner.
No, not Zabit. He just fought like 3 weeks ago.
Is it Islam?
Yes, Makayev. Islam Makayev.
Okay.
Nasty. I haven't really watched him too much.
Yeah.
But I watched his last fight, and he's pretty nasty. He's gonna be a problem. I mean,
he'll be a problem for sure.
Those Dagestan guys are insane.
Something in the water.
They're the best wrestlers in the world.
Yeah.
You came in think about this. You have 320 something million people, or however many people are in our country, and we only have. I think we have less than 20 world champions active, maybe less. Mm-hmm. Dagestan, a population, I think, is less than 2,000 people in this small town where Khabib's from. And they have, I think, over 25 or 30 world champions.
Jeez.
I mean,
crazy.
He was beating on D1 All-American wrestlers, you know?
No problem.
Justin Gaethje, killing them. So
really?
Yeah.
Man.
So Khabib's people call him the GOAT, but who do you think's the GOAT if you had to pick?
For UFC?
Yeah, MMA, all of MMA.
I love John Bon Jones.
Johnny Bones, baby.
John Bones,
yeah.
Dude. I love him.
I agree. He's the king.
He's just waiting for a fight right now, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's waiting for someone to fight him. He's waiting to get paid, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah. I know. So
I think he's the GOAT. I mean, I love
can't beat his resume.
No.
He's got the best resume.
No. Georges St. Pierre.
GSP.
He's in the GOAT talk, you know? I mean, Khabib's an obvious one, but because he retired, at a relatively, young career standpoint,
his resume, Khabib's, if you took, his skill, I think, pound for pound, I think he's the most dominant as far as skill goes. Just talking pound for pound fight. If to build a fighter, I'd take Khabib all day. But John, he's the most dominant when you really think about it. He's only had 2 fights where it was, questionable. GSP, we've seen him lose, but avenged all of his losses. But I don't know. I think Khabib needs to come back, get a couple more wins. I want to see Khabib fight again. I love Khabib.
So it was his mother that told him not to fight again?
So his father passed away, and he promised
his mom
that he would fight again, I believe.
So Dana White's probably calling his mom every day.
I know. They have an honor code. Once they say something like that, they don't.
He does seem like that, very, very honorable. His word is the most important thing.
It looks like he's living. He looks like he's living through his upcoming dudes because he's been coaching all those dudes.
And he's been commentating a little bit too.
Yes, yeah.
He's been commentating on a couple of fights, so that's exciting. Yeah, so I'd go Brady, McGregor. I mean, Khabib's a favorite too. Honestly,
you gotta love him.
Georges St. Pierre, I like him.
GSP, yeah, you love him too. He's the man.
New recent favorite since I got into jiu-jitsu, Gordon Ryan.
All day. Gordon Ryan, baby.
He's the man. He could fight MMA.
He should. He would kill people.
Yeah. Just learn some striking, which he probably already knows.
I think he does already strike. I've seen him throw hands. He looks pretty good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
John Danaher is a striking coach too. So
when you think about it though, he doesn't. I mean, he needs striking, but his level of grappling, all he's gonna do is get past the first 10 seconds. Once he clinches with somebody, it's over.
Yeah.
Done, you know?
Dude, the stories of him saying how he'd go up to the judges beforehand, draw a triangle, fold it up, and say open this after the match is over.
So you predict his finish.
Yeah, have you heard that?
I think I heard him talk about that, but like a while ago when he was just starting. Because I've been listening to him for a while. He's the man. He's cool. Mm-hmm. Super cocky.
He moved right out of New York.
I love how
he's
cocky
in Texas.
He is.
Yeah,
he hates New York.
he hates New York. It was funny, the podcast that him and John Danaher are on. They were on back-to-back podcasts with Joe Rogan. John Danaher's like, oh, I love New York, blah, blah. Next podcast, he's talking about, I hate New York. Like, I want to get out of here.
Terrible.
Like, I'm living in Jersey and driving in. Like, they were in Puerto Rico for a while. Now I think now they're in Texas.
I don't blame them.
But yeah, he's another favorite. I'm trying to think any other big sports that I follow,
we can't forget childhood favorite David Ortiz.
Oh man, Big Papi. Yeah,
Big Papi. You can't forget about him. You know?
he was fun to watch. Him and Manny Ramirez. Woo. Yeah, little.
Yep.
Pine tar in the helmet.
I don't know if you remember this, but watching the Red Sox games when I was little, when they go to commercial break before the Red Sox would bat, and you'd see like the score, and then underneath it would show you the guys coming up. On deck or whatever.
Yeah.
Whenever I'd see Ortiz, I would always make sure I wouldn't miss it. Like I would get so excited because I'd be like,
he's up next.
Always. Whenever there was a clutch moment, he was up. You already knew what was going to happen. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
He's like Brady in a way.
He is.
The more clutch the moment get, the more you knew he was going to perform well.
Yeah, every time.
Nuts. It takes a certain kind of person. Like
I know.
You gotta have like ice, like water in your veins. Like
insane.
It's like
insane.
Like the pressure.
I tell you, I met him when I was little.
Ortiz?
Yeah.
No.
So my uncle used to be CEO of Nakona Bat Factory. They were located in Fall River. And
wait, is that still around? I drove by that the other day. I drove by a bat factory in Fall River. I'm like, what the hell is a bat factory doing in Fall River?
Yeah.
It looked like there were bats in there.
I think they got. I'm not sure what happened.
Maybe they got bought out.
They maybe got bought out, but like this was like 12, 13 years ago. I was a little kid. I was like I was like in like third or fourth grade, and I remember, my uncle called us and he was like, "Yo, David Ortiz is coming, and Miguel Cabrera too."
Oh yeah.
And we didn't care about him though at the time. We were all about Ortiz, and he was like, "Yo, come meet David Ortiz. You might get an autograph. He's going to be at the grand opening for the company."
Wow.
So we got there. There was probably like 100 people there, like trying to get signatures. And David Ortiz gets out of his limo and walks past the crowd. And he's walking past, and some kid reached out to it was like a mini baseball bat to get a signature, and hit me in the head by accident. And Ortiz saw me get hit in the head. So I was like stunned because he nailed me, and he put his hand on my head. He's like, "You okay, buddy?" And my brother and I, we got walked to the back of the building.
Yeah.
And I got to sit in his limo, and they put ice on my head. And I remember
in his limo?
In his limo, like on the outside, the door open and all that.
Oh, that's
and I'm
funny.
sitting there blown away. Because I'm like, David Ortiz just gave me an ice pack. Like, what is going on right now? My life is not real. And
that's funny.
He was super cool. I probably talked to him for like a minute. And then 2 days later, I'm at home. I'm watching the Red Sox game, and I watched him hit a walk-off. And I was like, I'm not washing my hair for 2 weeks.
Yeah, right.
This dude touched my head.
There's luck in that sweat.
So,
dude, that's funny.
Yep.
That's funny. I haven't had too many close celebrity encounters. I think the closest thing for me was Jay Leno's obviously in the Newport area.
Oh yeah.
He lives down here now.
Yep.
And we were sitting at Leo's Market. Me and two other buddies. We just come out of CrossFit and we were getting food. You know where Leo's Market is on Broadway? It's right next to Ben's Chili Dogs.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So you can go in there. It's a market, but there's a burrito shop in there. We're sitting there eating burrito, and this guy kind of hustles by, big guy in a suit, and looks almost I don't know, either he's kind of drunk or he's just out of shape and he's panting, but he just booked it by, and I look at my buddy's was that Jay Leno?
No way.
Yeah, it was. And come to find out, the reason he was walking down Broadway is because he was doing a show at the Bit House.
Oh, no way.
The theater, little
cool.
comedy theater right there. So I was able to say, okay, yeah, that was him. It wasn't just a lookalike.
It's cool when you meet people like that. I mean, especially Ortiz, because he's David Ortiz. I was like, I don't know. It's something. Yeah, it's more than just meeting a normal person.
Right.
It's somebody
get
who's
starstruck a little bit.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Can't even explain it.
All right, we're gonna switch topics just a little bit.
Let's do it.
Traveling. Where's the place you traveled most recently?
Florida.
Yeah, that's your spot.
That's the place, man.
Fort Lauderdale.
Anywhere in Florida, honestly. It's a free country down there. I love it. It's nice. Weather's good. How about you?
Let's see. I was in Charleston, South Carolina. I think that was the most recently place I traveled. I'm going to Dallas, Texas in September for a conference. And then I'm going to Vegas for my buddy's 40th.
Can I use that?
Oh, yeah, you're good. I'm going to Vegas in October.
You been before?
Never. I'm not a gambler, though.
I went one time.
I'm not a gambler. So
I had a bad experience.
Oh, God. I feel like it's a 50-50 shot.
It's a weird, like you're driving through the desert. Actually, it wasn't a bad experience, but driving through the desert and it's just like mountains and shit, and then all of a sudden you just see a city come out. It's like literally when you hear like Elon Musk talk about how we're in a simulation.
Yeah.
If you drive from California to Vegas, you will believe that theory.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't make any sense how, I mean, I'm sure there's answers, but like it doesn't make any sense how they built a city in the middle of the desert like that. It's crazy.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's just huge too. Like it lights up. Pretty cool. Yeah. It's cool too because when you're driving through the highway, through the desert, you can't see the city, but there's like, everything's dark except one part, you know, and you can see because the light from the city's lighting up the sky, and it's like bright, really bright, like like you've never seen like a lot of light pollution. It's pretty cool.
Right.
So
isn't that nuts? He thinks he actually believes we're in a simulation. Elon Musk. I mean, we probably are. It's a valid like. I mean, there's an argument for it. But I'm surprised like that's his belief. He's like, yes, we're in a simulation.
I think when you're, I don't know. I feel like. I don't know, like, I think they talk about how it's more of a chance of us being in one than us not being in one. Because if you think about us not being in one, then what's the answer? Or what the hell are we in then? Yeah. You know what I mean?
But there's another podcast with Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah.
And he's like, nah, dude, there's no way. Like,
yeah.
So there's a side for and against.
He's a hater, though. He don't like UFOs either. You know that, right? He's like anti-UFO.
Yeah.
You know? His debate to UFOs is like, because we have all this technology nowadays and we can't, you know, we don't have any modern videos of UFOs nowadays.
Yeah.
We have all these phones. But I'm like, if you see a UFO, you probably see it so quick. You don't have time to take your phone out. You know what I mean? So that's a terrible argument.
You know what's actually nuts? I was driving home with, we went on a double date the other night, last weekend. We were driving home and, Warwick, I think it was like post road, Route 1. So it's not a real highway, but it's a super long road. I think it goes from like Maine to like Florida.
Yep.
Route 1. And but we're in Warwick. It's like a super small road, and literally in like almost slow motion, this like ball of blue fire comes from literally a direct diagonal to the right to the left, like exactly over where we're driving.
That was on Saturday night, right? Was it Saturday night or Friday night? Something like that?
I think it was on Friday night.
Yeah, because my brother said he saw it too.
What?
And everybody on West Main Road stopped their cars. It was right near Raytheon. Like, you could see it. So,
Dude, was it a meteor? What was it?
They said it was a meteor, but who knows? You never know.
Dude, I was like...
Some Transformers shit going on.
It was like slow motion.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't like a... It was like... I was like... Almost had to stop my car and just like watching it go across. Dude, yeah. Like,
wow,
yeah.
Why you should have told me about this.
I forgot. And then I look at my girlfriend and she saw it too. She's like, "Oh, that was probably a meteor."
Yep.
I'm like, "Oh, I've never seen a meteor before. Like, how crazy is that?" And then we started getting off on side topics because she works at Providence Diamond. And she's like, "Yeah, meteors like they happen and like they're super rare, but like because I work for a Rolex dealer, there's some Rolexes they put like little pieces of meteorite in there. Like, yeah, it's like I'm like that's pretty sick.
It's still some alien shit though. Think about it, it's from somewhere else.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
but that's crazy,
dude. Yeah. So, did I even get to where I most really traveled? Oh, Vegas. That's where it was. Sorry.
Vegas. Yeah. Right. You'll like it.
Yeah.
It's dope. It's cool. It's a cool place. Just stay on the strip.
Yeah, I mean,
don't leave the strip.
I'm going with a couple people. I'm going with a buddy of mine who doesn't even drink. So and I'm not one to like at this point in my life be like a huge partier anyway. So I mean, I'm more like into fitness and stuff like that. Yeah. So we might drop into a gym down there. We might go like hike. There's some good hiking spots down there too.
Yep.
I mean, obviously we'll check out the casinos downtown. But like
go to Red Rocks.
Yeah.
Red Rocks is my girlfriend brought me there. We went there together, and it is like when I tell you is the coolest thing. Like when you get there, these rocks are so big you've never seen. Like we're from Rhode Island.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
You're from Mass, but like
yeah.
we've never seen rocks that big in our lives. You see some big ass rocks. It's pretty cool. You know, and the hiking's cool over there too.
Yeah, so. Yeah. So I'm excited. I mean, we'll check out the site. We'll just like be tourists basically.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna spend my entire time there in a casino. I'll check it out, but that's not just like not my interest.
Have you been to San Diego yet?
I haven't, but I want to go.
You'd love it.
Yeah.
Pacific Beach, San Diego. My brother Jerry used to live there, but I went there. I've been there twice so far. Something about that place is cool.
You know what I've heard?
Awesome.
So it's a big military population there, just like Newport. And one of the guys I know used to live there for a little bit, and he goes, him and his girl met there. And they were both with different people when they moved there. He goes, San Diego is one of my favorite places, but don't move there with your girlfriend because you're gonna break up.
Really?
He said like that's like it happens often because like it's beautiful out. There's plenty of stuff to do, and there's just a ton of like just good looking like single people around. And he's like all right.
The best gyms. They have the oldest gym one of the oldest, actually the oldest bodybuilding gym in the country out there.
Yeah.
Which is like walking in a time vault. You
really
would like it. It's pretty cool. And then they have like cool like hiking spots, like
nice
300-foot cliffs overlooking the beach. You gotta
good
walk
surfing
down.
there too.
The surfing's insane. Yeah. So check that out too.
Yeah. I'll be
gonna go back
out
soon.
Yeah. Do you have any trips planned?
Well, I'm in the process of deciding whether we go Florida or San Diego.
Oh really?
I want to see the west coast of Florida. I haven't seen that yet, but I like Fort Lauderdale. That place is lit. You know what I mean? So I don't know. We'll see.
I'm trying to think of what's on the west coast. Like when you get Tampa.
Yep. They
St.
say
Petersburg.
Naples is nice.
Naples.
I don't know anything about it though.
You been to the Keys?
No.
Key West would be a good place to go.
I heard it's cool. Yeah, it's cool.
Key West would be a good place to go.
I want to see Texas too.
Oh, you should go to Texas.
Yeah.
Austin.
I heard Austin's sweet.
Austin's a place to go.
I haven't seen that yet. I want to cool.
That'd
be pretty cool to go check it out.
I think that's Matthew McConaughey's favorite place in Texas. Austin.
Rogan lives in Austin now too. Our boy.
That'd be a sweet place to go. Cool. And then one last rapid fire.
Sure.
Put rapid fire in air quotes.
All right.
But one book that's impacted your life.
Ooh, one book. Well, I have to go with the Arnold Encyclopedia.
Of course.
Go with that. I mean,
big impact on my life too.
That book educated me from ground zero.
Mm-hmm.
I still look back at it to this day. There's so much in there that you can't pick it all up at once.
No.
But when you like as a trainer, and you're helping people on a daily basis, it's good to consistently kind of like redo your education so that you stay sharp. You know what I mean?
Of course. Refresh yourself on it.
That book keeps me sharp. I got more out of that book than all of my classes that it took to become a trainer.
Oh, I bet.
I know it sounds funny, but like
I bet.
It's you get the book, the scientific book that breaks down all the terms and everything, but something about hearing the same exact science but in more understandable English from a person who became the best at it in the world.
Yeah.
I'll take that over that all day.
You know what's crazy too? I want to get back to your training cert in a second because I'm curious about that.
Yeah.
But everybody gives Arnold credit for he won Mr. Olympia. He became the governor of California. He's a movie star.
Terminator.
Yeah, but I feel like a lot of people, and it should be recognized too, that he helped write this giant encyclopedia.
They think he's like a dummy.
Yeah.
But he's not a dummy.
Yeah.
He's a smart dude.
Yeah. That thing is thick.
Yeah.
That's almost like he wrote a dictionary. That thing is
crazy.
Thick. He had that published.
It's like reading his memoir.
Yeah.
The first 100 pages? It's all about his mindset. And that's cool.
That's a huge accomplishment to be able to produce a product like that.
It's crazy. And the coolest part is he gives you the history. He doesn't just tell you how to work out. He tells you this is where bodybuilding started. And he leads you into it. And he tells you all the little basics and how it evolved to where it is now. Pretty cool. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
But
what's
your favorite book? What do you like?
Ooh.
What you got?
So I've said Green Lights from Matthew McConaughey. Great book.
I gotta read that.
Oh.
I heard good things.
Listen to it on Audible.
Okay.
You gotta
hear him talk, right?
It's really good. Can't Hurt Me, David Goggins.
Okay.
Another good one on Audible because he narrates that as well.
You hear his voice the whole time?
Mm-hmm.
Woo! I'm down.
And then my third one, which I said this on a recent podcast, but that's all right. Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willink.
Okay.
He narrates
love
that
Jocko.
too.
Jocko's a good
All
dude.
three of those guys narrate those books.
I love his podcast.
Dude, it's a great book too. It's a great book.
I got a book for you.
Let's hear it.
It's called Night by Eli Wiesel. He's a Holocaust survivor.
Okay.
He survived Auschwitz, which is like the worst concentration camp.
Yeah.
And this guy talks about the whole experience from being taken from the ghettos and put into a camp and the whole thing. It's pretty crazy. It's a short book.
Night.
Too. It's not like 200 pages, not even.
Wow.
I remember reading that when I was little, and I'm talking like middle school, and to this day I still remember that book. So
that's
that
wild.
That was cool.
Another good one I read relatively recently was it's the mountaineering one, Up Everest.
Oh, I heard about that one.
The name's escaping me.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Let's do a quick fact check. See if I can hit Everest. I also read most of Into Thin Air. Into Thin Air. That's a great book. Mm-hmm. I listened to that one on Audible.
I haven't read it, but I heard good things about it.
And then The Perfect Storm. I actually haven't finished reading it. I forgot it. I even had it, but that's another good one too.
Do you like watching movies or reading the book better? What do you like better?
I think I'd go with like the typical cliche answer of like I like the experience of reading the book, but I actually prefer listening. I'd rather listen to it.
He'll listen to the book read to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd rather listen to it.
Yeah. Huh.
When I'm driving.
Yeah.
That's the best way, I think. But then I would still love to watch the movie afterwards too. I think the movie's great.
Yeah.
But I think if you read the book first, because I think if you watch the movie first, then you kind of have the pictures already painted in your head for you.
Yeah, and then sometimes they mess up, like the way that you think of it. That's why I don't even mess with the book versions.
Yeah.
Go with the movie.
Right. Like I read the first Lord of the Rings book.
Oh, cool.
And like I had like the characters pictured in my head, and then I watched the movie. I'm like, that's not what that dude looks like in my head, and I'm like, that's not how I pictured it to play out. But
those movies are bomb.
They're good.
Don't be hating,
dude. I love them.
Those are the best.
I love them. Cool. All right, so let's get into your training start a little bit, but I just want to get into a little bit of like your fitness journey. Like, how did it start? Basically, you grew up in the area here.
Yep.
High school wrestling.
Yeah, my whole life. That was a good experience. I say it was the best experience in my life because it gave me everything I needed to do what I'm doing now, but it also messed me up physically. And I'm still trying to recover a little bit. Started wrestling when I was little. I was like a 4 or 5 year old. I used to watch my brother Tom and Jerry. My brother Tom started his sophomore year of high school and was in one of the toughest weight classes, and he was actually wrestling heavier kids. And he ended up taking 5th his senior year, but to even place at states, coming from almost zero wrestling background, 2 years fresh to the sport of wrestling is crazy. And he was a real strong dude. And watching him wrestle, and then Jerry was like a speed machine, and he went undefeated his senior year. So watching them two as a kid, I kind of took, Tom's aggressiveness and Jerry's swagger and put it all into one. Nice. I copied them a little bit, and it turned me into like a super wrestler as I got better. But the main thing with wrestling was it was more about confidence. It was a mental game because you're, in a team sport, you're with a team, and you can be a little bit protected from being vulnerable sometimes when you're on a team sport, and it's not a bad thing. But like wrestling, you go out there, it's just you and somebody else trying to pin you. Right. You know what I mean? So, it's tough. Especially as a little kid. I used to, when I was like 6, 7 years old, I was so scared of wrestling. Like, I was afraid of the sport. I used to hide under bleachers. And the coach, he used to come and find me and scream at me, throw me on the mat. Like, that's how scared I was. And like, I went from that, and I even had that kind of fear even as like a little kid going into middle school and a little bit even into high school. And it wasn't until like my sophomore year of high school when I wrestled in one of the best weight classes as a sophomore, and I was still kind of developing at the time. And I wrestled.
What high school was it?
I was at Middletown originally.
Yep.
And then I transferred to Hendricken.
Nice.
But, when I was a sophomore, the confidence came once I wrestled with a couple of really good kids out of state. Kids from Pennsylvania. I don't know if you know about wrestling. Wrestling, the best wrestlers come from Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Cali, but mainly Pennsylvania. If you go to a national tournament, most of the kids in the finals are from Pennsylvania. That's just the way it goes. So we used to go down there like every weekend and wrestle against kids from Pennsylvania. And I wrestled a couple kids who placed top 6 in the state down there.
Wow.
And got my ass whooped.
Yeah.
But, after going down a few times, started getting a lot better. And that sport taught me a lot of discipline, got me super focused, got me really into working out originally. I mean, I was always into working out as a little kid.
Yeah.
But in order to wrestle, you got to be in shape.
Yeah.
You got to be disciplined. You can't be, if you have excuses or if you have any kind of, mental weakness, someone else is working harder, tough shit, you're going to lose. You know what I mean?
Dude,
so,
yeah.
You knew you wrestled for a year.
Yeah, that's going to say, like, I wrestled for a year, and from what I remember it, as far as all the sports I did, those were the hardest practices and hardest workouts.
Tough.
Out of any sport I tried.
Yeah.
They were tough. Like, every practice, like, the actual drilling was really hard, but then they added additional, like, strength work and conditioning on top of that, and it was just like, oh, this is brutal.
I know.
That's probably why I didn't last.
And then you add cutting weight to it. Cutting weight was the worst part.
Yeah.
Like my freshman, sophomore year. Freshman year, I didn't cut that much. Sophomore year, I weighed about between 180 and 185, but I used to wrestle 170, so we'd cut like 12 to 15 pounds.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of weight as someone whose body's growing at the time.
Yeah.
And then my junior year, I transferred to Hendricken, and I said, I'm done with cutting weight. Mm-hmm. So I weighed 185 pounds, but I went and wrestled 220. Because I was like, screw it. And one of my buddies was wrestling 95 that year. So I was like, that's your weight class. I'm going to go take 220. And had a great season. This is my junior year. Got to...
so you're wrestling big kids.
Big kids. And the funniest part of my junior year was we went up to this meet up in Vermont. We wrestled this really good team. They were, at the time... I believe they were top 20 in the nation, the school, the Bennington, Vermont. And I went out and wrestled some kid. Didn't even know who he was. It was a senior night. I'm glad I didn't know who he was. But I went out there and somehow beat this kid 10-9.
Wow.
I'm talking 10 seconds left. Got a last-second takedown. Walked off the mat and found out this kid was ranked top 10 in the country.
Wow.
In my weight class. And if I had known that going in, I would have probably been psyched out.
You would have probably played very defensive.
Way more defensive. But I went out there like reckless. I didn't give a shit. I was like, this kid's talking crap.
You went out there like Conor McGregor.
I had no idea. And I'm glad I didn't know. I really am.
Yeah.
So, but that match was where the back was originally broken. That's where originally hurt myself. And then 2 weeks later, we went to States. Mm-hmm. And I was already hurting going into the tournament of States. And... that's where it all fell apart. I think I was in the semis or quarterfinals, and something happened. Something didn't feel right. I was in the middle of the match, and I remember coming off the mat. I couldn't even stand up. I laid on my back. Sciatica, to the most extreme pain you can think of.
Yeah.
But next day we came back. I had to injury default out of the tournament or out of the winners bracket at my junior year. And, the next day we came back, and my coach came over to me, and he said, we need you to wrestle back and take third. Because technically, even though I injured defaulted out, they put me into the losers bracket. So which would have been a forfeit for anybody who got to wrestle me. But I decided to throw that singlet on, put a back brace under the singlet, take like 6 Advil, and suck it up. And I wrestled like a scarecrow because I couldn't really bend over.
Yeah.
I ended up that day wrestling back and winning 4 kids in a row, taking third.
Wow.
And then... it messed me up more. I ended up being out.
I bet.
And then I had to miss New England's. And once you hurt yourself like that, especially in that kind of sport, you can't move the same.
No.
Coming back my senior year, I couldn't move the same.
Not that soon.
No.
I mean, think about
years.
It's a different injury, but think about like an ACL tear. You're not gonna play the same even after you're fully rehabbed with an after you tear your ACL.
Same thing.
At least not for probably a year.
Yeah, you probably need almost 2 if you think about it to get back to that level.
Right.
Right. So at that time I was already a junior, and I went back to my senior year, and I started off well. I was wrestling good, but then I tore my right shoulder, and my dad sat me down. He's like, "Listen, you're done. Like, stop trying to.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to get anything out of this. You're going to hurt yourself, blah, blah, blah. So I just like, all right, guy can make money wrestling, unless you're in the Olympics.
Yeah. And even then, how much are you really going to make wrestling?
Not a lot. Not a lot. And it's unfortunate because
there's some sports you just don't make money.
Those dudes on the top level, they're, I think, some of the best athletes on the planet.
Yeah.
And they get paid nothing.
Yeah.
So it's crazy when you think about it.
Same with the Olympic weightlifters. They don't get paid.
It's terrible.
Jack. Yeah.
You know?
They get
they get sponsorships, though, don't they? A little bit?
Yeah, you can get a sponsorship. But
they're not rich, though.
But, for example, like, there's a donation page.
Yeah.
There's a donation link on the USCW website. Like, donate to help the athletes.
So they need it.
Like, yeah.
I saw something the other day about
Imagine seeing that on the fucking Patriots page.
Terrible.
Donate to help the Patriots.
I saw, like, I think it was Finland or Sweden, and their Olympian makes, if they get the gold, they get $1 million from that country.
Wow.
But the U.S., I think it's like $37,000.
Wow.
Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
I don't know. We got all that money. We should award our Olympians, in my opinion. If you get a gold, you should be taken care of.
Yeah.
You know, forever.
Right.
Forever.
Yeah.
You know?
Why not?
It should be the government's responsibility. Because, I don't know.
Award your Olympians. I like that. I like that.
Yeah, that's the history with my wrestling background. I had to stop. My dream was to go on a wrestling college. I wanted to wrestle in college. But went down a different path. The injuries were unfortunate, but hey, I wouldn't know you if I wasn't injured. You know what I mean? I wouldn't have been a trainer. I wouldn't have gotten into bodybuilding. I would never have done half the things I've done over the past few years without actually breaking. I cracked my sacrum, and now you know, a torn hip, all that bullshit. But hey, it's all good. You know what I mean?
So is that, like you said, like, is that what got you into bodybuilding? Was that the next step for you?
I was honestly into the bodybuilding at a young age. My original inspiration, like, I'm talking OG, Sylvester Stallone.
Oh yeah.
To this day, I think Stallone had the best physique out of anybody in Hollywood. Anybody, for me, I think he looked better than Arnold because he wasn't. I mean, he wasn't like, he didn't have that Mr. Olympia look, but he had just like a more like. He was Rambo.
Rugged.
Man. He was Rocky and Rambo.
Yeah.
You can't beat that.
Yeah.
You know? So, growing up, watching Rocky movies and all that, that's what got me into bodybuilding.
Yeah.
And then wrestling, and the bodybuilding training helped my wrestling a lot.
Oh, I bet.
You know, it wasn't strict bodybuilding regimen. It was like bodybuilding, like kind of like what you do with CrossFit, same kind of thing. I incorporated bodybuilding techniques to strengthen my body so that I could be a better athlete. But yeah. Sylvester Stallone, man. He's the OG.
I like
Motivation.
it.
That's what got me going.
So after wrestling, after high school, is that when you started training? Started becoming a trainer?
Yeah. So what happened was it's kind of a funny story because growing up, for some reason, I always looked up to all my brothers. But for some reason, growing up, when I was a little kid, I remember wanting to do what Jerry did.
Yeah.
He played soccer. I wanted to play soccer. He wrestled. I wanted to wrestle. It was kind of weird. But then, as we got older, he got into bodybuilding, and I was still wrestling at the time, and I wasn't really all in bodybuilding at the time. He got into bodybuilding, and he did a show, and he won. And it was pretty crazy because it changed the whole dynamic of his life at the time, and it was super motivating from my perspective because, you know, I was his little brother, seeing him, cheering him on. It was pretty cool to see, you know, him go win a big show like that. And especially it was natural too, no drugs, none of that. And then he started this business from that bodybuilding show. And a lot of people got inspired by it. A huge group of people in Newport, and they all, you know, hopped on the train, and it's built. It's been 5 years.
Yeah.
It's actually 6 years now.
Yeah.
And it just keeps going. You know what I mean? So that was the motivation. The effects of, I would say the main thing that got me into it was the positivity around him, like the effects he had on people. So like seeing him change lives and seeing how he was affecting people, like by him winning a show and then becoming a trainer and then helping people transform. I was still in high school and I was going through a crappy time at the time. Seeing him do that, I was like, I want to do the same thing. That's sweet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's what got me into it.
That's awesome.
You know? And I didn't want to go to college because I didn't know what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
So I knew fitness would be my way.
Nice.
It's gonna stay that way too.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, going back to what you said, like him transforming people.
Yeah. Like
you can just see that, like, and like helping people out, and like that's his passion, that's your passion. You can see that that's part of the culture of the gym here. Like, you walk in, it's not your typical like Globo gym.
No.
Everybody knows each other.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's friends. Everybody's accepting of each other.
Right.
Like the post he put on Instagram today, he's like, we no matter who you are, blah 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 blah, like we'll accept you. Like you're like your family basically.
No matter what.
You look at the wall, like all the people, like the before and after pictures, all the people he's helped, just like goes all on the wall, like the amount of people like that you both have helped. All the trainers have helped, you know. So it's a cool culture here.
And the coolest part too is, you know, most of the people that are on that wall, they're still good.
Yeah.
Like, they're still healthy.
Yeah.
They're still doing well. I mean, some of them, of course, you know, have, you know, problems and some things that don't always work out. But, like, I would say a good 80 to 90% of the people that have received results from, you know, our beliefs and what we preach have kept them. And that's the secret, I think.
Yeah.
Longevity, keeping people going, you know?
That's the hardest part.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to make a transformation, but it's even harder to keep it.
And I think the coolest part about this gym too is like the realness, because you know, sometimes when people get into, when someone comes off the couch and they you know, they're insecure or whatever it might be, and they're going through a hard time and they want to change their life, it's like uncomfortable at first. You don't want to expose yourself right away. But the best part about what we do is make you feel uncomfortable. Like, take your shirt off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's take a photo of what you look like right now.
Yeah.
And no other gym would make you do that. You know, but I think that's by exposing what you're. I mean, you gotta look at the problem before you fix it. You know,
you take a good hard look at yourself and like, this is where I am.
Yep.
Instead of kind of like, all right, I can do that later. I'm gonna look at that later. Like, I'm not ready to do that yet.
Right.
Like, no, this is where you're at. And this is where we're about to work from. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. It was a funny. We had a funny moment one time. It was a couple of years back when we had clients. They were struggling with like temptations, wanting to go out and eat like crap and drink and all that bull crap. And Jerry looked at one of the people and he was like, "Whenever you want to eat bad or like not be disciplined with what you're doing and just be lazy, just go in the mirror by yourself, take all your clothes off, look at yourself butt naked, and ask yourself, is it worth it? You know what I mean?" And it actually helped this person. This person was able to lose another 50 pounds at the time, and they got into a lot better shape. But so that, like, for some people that works, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got to go right after them and tell them how it is, you know?
I like that. I like that a lot. I mean, different things work for different people, obviously.
Yeah, of course.
But, like, when I'm at home, I try to be, like, shirtless all the time.
Yeah.
You know, like, it just makes me, I don't know, it allows me to think more about things.
Right.
Like, you know, what I'm putting in my body, like how I'm living, like, you know, stuff like that. So
it's a constant piece of artwork that you're trying to improve.
Yeah.
You know, and if you don't look at it all the time,
sculpt the body.
You got to know what's going on, man.
That's right.
It's important. So.
Which kind of brings us, I might be skipping ahead a little bit.
Yeah, whatever.
But kind of brings us to our next point.
Yeah,
what are you doing right now for nutrition?
So I have like I'm going through a pretty cool phase right now, honestly. I'm learning about the carnivore diet. I'm actually doing it. I'm on my 17th or 18th day, I think. 18th day. I could be off by a day, but I'm on day 18. I feel like a little kid again. No joke. Like, you know when you're a little kid and you're like playing in the neighborhood and you got energy, you could go all day, and your parents are like, come inside, it's time to go to bed. And you're like, nah, I'm not going inside. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'll train like 10 clients in a row. I'll work out twice, and I'll get to the end of the day, and I'm like, what's next?
Yeah.
I'm not ready to go to bed yet. You know what I mean? So I feel good.
That's awesome.
Energy's through the roof. I've tried a lot of different nutrition plans. I've been very disciplined with food, in, you know, a healthy way over the past, you know, 6 years. I got into the nutrition side of it because I didn't really know anything. When you're a teenager, you don't really know much about food.
Yeah.
But what got me into it was the shows. I started doing bodybuilding shows, and you know, your coach puts you on a, you know, 5 to 6 meal a day regimen, and when you're getting ready for a show, you're in a deficit. So you're in a caloric deficit, and you got to make sure that your body fat is constantly going down, but while trying to retain as much muscle mass as possible.
Right.
Which is not easy when you're not taking drugs. You know what I mean? So it's a very difficult scientific process.
Right.
But
it'd be very calibrated.
Yeah, I was feeling about, you know, I heard about the carnivore diet a couple years ago. I'm a big Joe Rogan fan. He started the carnivore diet. He did it for about, I think, 40 or 50 days, and he had great benefits from it. He had great results. And I was interested in me, but I never thought to do it. I was like, that's cool, you know? Because at the time, what I was doing was kind of working for me, and I was kind of content with it. I didn't really know much about anything else at the time. And then my oldest brother recently just got on it. He's been on it for almost, I think, 70 days. He's getting close to 70 days. And when I tell you, I don't see my oldest brother a lot. He's like 10 years older than me, and I'll see him like, once every couple weeks.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen him for probably like a month and a half, right?
Yeah.
And when I seen him, I was like, something looks different.
Yeah.
You look way better.
Yeah.
In my mind, I'm thinking, you look great. You know what I mean? Like his face cleared up. Like he looked like more energetic. Like everything looked better about him. He was leaner.
Yeah.
I believe he dropped like 20 pounds of body fat. Like his photo transformations speak for itself.
Wow.
And he's telling me he's got more power. He's a jiu-jitsu fighter. He's been doing jiu-jitsu for like 4 or 5 years now.
Yeah.
And seeing him talk about how it's made him stronger, it's made him more focused, it's made him all this, I'm like, well, let's give it a try. You know what I mean? Let's do it. So I started researching it for a couple weeks before I got on it officially.
Sure.
Mark Bell is one of my favorite influencers. I like watching his stuff.
Yep.
He does it all the time. And I also looked into like Sean Baker, who started the diet, and then Dr. Saladino, who's I believe he's a doctor in cardiology, and I also think he's a doctor in he's also a nutritionist, but he's also a doctor in medicine, I believe.
Okay.
And so this guy is like crazy, top. Like, talk about human being, like intelligence. This dude's like top of the notch. I listen to his podcast all the time, and just listening to him talk about food and the modern ways of how we eat on a daily basis, it just makes sense. You know what I mean? The way he talks about it. So I was like, let's try it. So let's try it. 1 day, 2 day, 3 day. I'm talking like within 2 days, I was like, I feel more energy. Because I was like eating, I've always had carbs in my diet, but I've never had like an abundance of them. I've always had them in the moderate range.
Yeah.
And recently I started bringing them up because I wanted to put size on. And I'm talking like, what you'd call healthy carbs. I'm eating tons of sweet potato, rice, good stuff, you know what I mean? And I was feeling like crap, like every day. Inflamed, knees were hurting, back and hips were always hurting, elbows were hurting a little bit, tired, hitting fatigue walls at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon every day, needing an enormous amount of caffeine to get through the day. And I was just sleeping 8-9 hours every night. So I'm like, all right, something's wrong, you know what I mean? So I started looking into my blood type. I'm O negative. I did a lot of research into people whose blood type O negative, O positive, and it's been proven that these people have more success on lower carbohydrate diets and high protein, which high protein has always been my thing. So I got into, more reading, more research, and then I was like, screw it, pull the trigger. And I'm telling you, like, for me, it's worked out really well so far. I feel great. I feel a little stronger.
Nice.
More energy of the day. I feel, it's hard to explain. I feel more focused because I'm already, you know me, I'm already a focused dude. I'm locked in all day long. But when I tell you, like, I feel like I've been like programmed 20% more focused with every person that I'm with.
Just dialed in.
It's awesome. So
nice.
For me, it's working. For my brother, it's working. Nice. Everybody that I've talked to that's tried it has had success. And the only negatives I've heard so far is the digestive issues in the first 2 weeks. Once you get past the first 2 weeks, that goes away. You no longer have those problems. So, yeah, it's working out so far. And the coolest part, too, is I have no cravings. Like, I'm a normal person. I've always had, like, cravings. Every now and then, I'm like, yo, let's get this, let's get that.
Yeah.
But, like, now, if you put, like, ice cream in front of my face or, like, whatever it might be, I'm like,
no.
I care less about things like that now. I don't really care. Like, because the feeling that I have right now is more important than putting that in my mouth. You know what I mean? So I'd rather just keep going with what I'm doing right now. I'm going to keep doing it for probably like 30, 40 days and then
see what you think for that.
It's an elimination diet. So you're taking away most of foods.
You're
just sticking to your hunter-gatherer diet.
Right.
So I'm gonna probably add in like 1 or 2 things that I actually do like. And see what happens. So we'll see if there's any effects. So yeah, it's going well so far.
Cool. That's a good experiment.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. And the coolest part about like the advocates, the mainframe guys, like, when you hear like, I'm not knocking on any other diets, but like, when you hear like vegans talk about their stuff, most of the time they're like, be a vegan. Let's get on the same page.
It gets culty.
Yeah, it gets culty. These guys are just like, look, this is what our ancient ancestors used to eat.
Yeah.
This is how we evolved to become who we are. Heavy amounts of saturated fats and meat.
Yeah.
And that's why we are who we are today. And they just tell you the facts, and then they tell you, if you want to do it, try it.
Yeah.
But you don't need to do it.
You don't need
do whatever
to.
you want.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what I like about them.
They're not ethically pushing it.
No, they're not pushing it on you at all.
I think that's where vegans get it wrong a lot of times. Sure, you have this diet, which is fine if you want to try it, but if you're ethically pushing on people, I think that's a turn off for
it's crazy.
People, so I think they get it wrong that way. There are some really high level, I know the documentary. The one
on Netflix.
The one on Netflix about vegan athletes.
Yep.
So there are a lot of athletes that have either transitioned to vegan or competed as vegan. So it's a valid diet. But I think so is carnivore.
I know. I agree.
I
agree. I think I've seen the guys that have been doing it for. The Baker has been doing it for 5 years now. Over 5 years, he hasn't had a carbohydrate in over 5 years, and this guy's still pulling 455 for reps, functioning perfectly. So. I think everybody's different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think some people need certain foods, some people don't. You know, so to say we all need the same thing, it's crazy because we're all built. It's like saying we all need to do, we all need to do deadlifts, but it's like saying we all need to do the same workout routine.
Right.
No, because you're built different than me, and I need to do this and you need to do that to build your body this way, and for me to build my body that way. It's the same thing with food.
And I think there is something to it too. Before you make any drastic changes to your diet, consult your your physician, make sure you're a healthy guy, so you're okay. But if you're overweight, if you have all these comorbidities health conditions, maybe talk to your doc too before you make a vast change.
That's the crazy part about carnivore too, is because over the past 60, 70 years, there's been a war on meat.
Yeah,
especially red meat.
Yeah,
and we've been kind of taught, we've grown up to believe that meat gives you heart disease.
Right.
And that's not fair to say that because there's no proof behind that.
Right.
So,
there's a study recently about, I'm going to get it slightly wrong, I think. I think the study was titled The Eggman. Mm. And he just ate, an absurd amount of eggs per day.
Really?
I'll have to look it up. I'll see if I can fact check it right now. But, I don't know. It was something nobody would ever eat that many eggs. Uh-huh. And they were and they took his blood cholesterol because they used to think if you eat foods that are high in cholesterol, you're gonna get high blood cholesterol.
Yep.
But they found those two aren't always related.
No, because it's LDL, HDL,
and a lot of times they're not even related at all. So that was a big study, and they're oh, okay.
And they was fine.
Yeah. And fine. Yeah. I'm completely fine.
Yep. This guy that's been doing it for 5 years, he gets his blood tested, I think, every 2 months.
Yeah.
And
it's just smart.
His heart functioning has increased by I think it was 20-something% over the past 5 years since he started it. And do you have the Whoop?
You know what? It broke, and I'm waiting on a Whoop to give me a new one. So
what's
Whoop,
it called? What's the
shout out Whoop if you're listening. Send me my Whoop, man. Come on.
What's that thing? It's something about your heart on the app.
Heart rate variability.
Heart rate variability. So my brother has been doing this for 70 days, and he said that his heart rate variability has increased exponentially since he started this new diet. So for him, it's worked too, and I'm not afraid. I love it. I think it's great, and it's super satisfying. I don't, feel hungry at the end of the day. I feel good.
Yeah.
Satisfied. So.
Here's a study. This guy was 88 and he ate 25 eggs a day.
Nice. There you go. They're bomb, man. They're good.
Yeah.
I'll eat them all day too. I made a funny comment the other day on Instagram. I said, we live in a society right now where if you can go eat candy and you can eat 5 bowls of Lucky Charms and, it's okay. But if you have more than 3 eggs a day, you're going to get heart disease. That's what we're taught.
Right.
It's crazy. You know what I mean? So.
And there are things to be careful with. That's what I said. Consult your physician. If you already have some underlying things going on. But if you're a healthy guy, it seems to be a pretty a good diet for you. So.
It's working.
Yeah, it's good. Let's let's move on just slightly into bodybuilding competitions.
Ooh.
When's the next one?
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. Honestly, like, the thing about competitions is you put a ton of work in, and I'm talking a lot of work. Yeah. Like, an insane amount of work. And it could come down to the guy beating you because, you know, he might look better, or because he is related to the judge, or he knows the judge. So it's Politics. A very political sport, you know what I mean? That's what I loved about wrestling, was because if you win, you win. It's clear. Yeah. Right? You were better. Or any kind of sport, you know what I mean?
That's what...
Bodybuilding, it's like a beauty contest a little bit, you know what I mean? So I kind of got turned off to the competing side of it.
Right.
The lifestyle side of it, I'm all in. I'm, like, fully intrigued. But as far as doing a show, I think I need a couple years to increase. I've like thought about jumping in on one maybe like this summer. Yeah. I still might. Yeah. I'm thinking about it because I love competing. I love it's fun.
Yeah.
I love being shredded. I love being in the best shape because, you know, you get to a certain place in your mind when you get that lean. Like it's hard to explain, but you feel great. So thinking about it. Probably not for a little bit though. Probably I want to give it a couple more years. It's been 2 years since my last show, and it was a good prep. I came in like, I remember doing the test. I came in under 3% body fat at the time, like crazy lean, like about to drop dead lean. That's how lean I was.
Yeah.
But to do it, you know, to do shows consistently all the time is not the healthiest route.
Sure.
Because if you're lean for too long, you're not going to develop. You know, it's bodybuilding. You know, so if you're doing shows all the time, you're depleting.
Right.
So, and especially with this new nutrition journey I'm going down, I think it's smart to not jump in on a show when I'm still learning how to eat this new, you know, regimen, and still learning the foods that work best for my body. So I think once I master my own personal nutrition with my body, because they say it takes a decade to figure it out.
Sure.
So once I figure it out, I think then we'll start doing them again. But I think you know, doing it also at the age of, I'm only 23, is if you're doing a show at 23, it's a little bit of a disadvantage because you're going up against guys in their 30s. You see Jerry, just more muscle maturity. He's been doing it longer. So you're kind of going into a show with a little bit of a disadvantage, unless you have great genetics and you're already past your, you know, like what you should be expected of the age group that you're in. But you know, I don't want to play with drugs or anything like that. So you know, the sad part about bodybuilding right now is that the only true way to really get far in the sport is to play with drugs.
Well, I like how they have the two different, like, basically categories. They have the drug free and they have the we don't.
The problem with that though is there's a lot of kids that compete. I've met them personally. They compete and they're actually taking stuff, but they pass the polygraph test, and I'm like, dude, go compete in NPC. You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing here?
There should be an outrageous fine for like losing the polygraph.
Well, you get banned if you get caught.
Banned for life.
I think 7 years, but I will say the competing is fun. Yeah. Like, it's a fun process. It's a fun journey. It's a test on yourself. And not only that, every time I've ever done a show, I've noticed my clients all improve. It's so weird. Yeah. 'Cause I'm so fucking
focused. You lift them up with you.
Yeah, they come with the you know, with the territory of me in pursuit of a goal. So that's a cool part. That's my favorite part.
Contagious.
That's my favorite part about competing. Yeah. It's not the show, but it's the effects I have on other people around me, especially through social media too. Like, people that hit me up and they're like, "Yo, like, you keep me motivated, keep me going." I appreciate that. So it's cool to have that.
Yeah.
A little bit, even if it's one person.
It's cool to have like a set date of like something you're working towards too.
Hell yeah.
You know, like, this is the date, this is when I have to be ready, this is what I'm training for, this is, you know, it's cool to have that.
You're like that too, huh?
Yeah, I always need a competition. I always need a competition down the road, which I don't have any right now. I got a couple CrossFit ones coming up.
Dude.
Yeah, local meets, so that'll be fun. But
I feel like if there's no date or there's no result end goal, I just feel like there's more room. It's kind of like the thing where if you knew you always had tomorrow, you wouldn't care about today.
Yeah.
Right? So if you know that you have all this time to improve, there's no there's no crunch time. There's no like, oh, I gotta work harder.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, I have tomorrow. I can keep coasting and doing this.
Right.
So then you start settling, and then you start getting lazy, and then I think it's a recipe for disaster. So I think it's important to have goals, milestones, set markers. You know what I mean?
Dates or goals with a timeline.
Absolutely.
Because, I mean, look at some of the people that come to train with you.
Yeah.
Like, I have to get ready for this wedding in this many weeks. I have to, like, get ready for this. Like, I have to get ready for this. Like.
But the main part about that, too, is that can also be a downside because
True.
They'll be like, oh, I want to be looking good for this date. And then they get to the date.
And then what?
And then that's it. I'm like, yo, this ain't summer camp. You know, like, I tell them that. I'm like, first thing I do tell them, I'm like, listen, I love that you want this goal.
Yeah.
It's great.
It's very motivating.
It's awesome. And it's going to get you going. It's going to light the fire under your belly before every training session. You're going to want it. But you need to understand something. Once that date's over, what are you going to do? You know what I mean? Are you going to stay with it? So that's what you have to ask.
Most people won't.
Most people won't.
So that's good. You tell them that from day one.
Day one, that's the first thing you need to tell them. Because if you don't, and then you jump on their train and you're like, yeah, let's do that. Let's get to that goal, and then they fall off.
And they hit the goal. They're good.
They know that you weren't there. They know they didn't care about. They know that you didn't really care about their overall, health.
Right.
So that's the main thing. It's helping people keep results long term.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's my main focus with people. And I have a pretty good client base right now, and I would say more than half of the people that I train have been with me for a good amount of time. A couple of my clients have been with me for coming up over 3 years now.
Wow.
And a couple great transformations. We're going to put together some good content to show you guys.
Nice.
But they've kept their results. And I think it's, I think the crazy mentality that I bring is help these individuals keep their results, and they're still not happy. They're like, I want to be this. Yeah. And it's not in an unhealthy way. It's
not unhappy like depression.
It's like I see what
I don't want to settle for when I know I can achieve more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. Because I mean, if you look at like one guy, for example, when he started with me, he was almost 260 pounds, no confidence, no strength, nothing when he started. Nice dude. But he had work ethic. Like, he came in and he didn't give up. He started a lot of consistency. And then now he's at a point where he looks like he lifts. Like, he's got, like, legit muscle. And I'm like, damn, like, this dude is catching up. Like, he looks great. This is awesome. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, he can be my training partner soon.
Yeah.
And he's like, I can still see his, like, the same mentality he had since he started. Mm-hmm. He still sees that picture of himself that we took at the day one, and it's been almost 3 years, and it's pretty badass to see somebody like that. There's not a lot of people like that. It's cool, So
something you said kind of just reminded me, a little off topic, but
yeah.
Do you have someone, and it could be your brother, that you look after as far as like, I want to get where they're at, like they're a motivation to me. I want to like, it could be like as far as physique or like training. They're like oh that person motivates me, and like I want to like work towards that.
Yeah, I think there's a few people. So what's funny is, like, when I started bodybuilding, I was like, I want to look like this guy or this guy.
Yeah.
And then you find out that this guy's on 25 drugs. You know what I mean? So then you're like,
I guess I don't really want to look like that.
I can't look like that realistically. But
right.
However, I'm not going to limit myself and say, I can never look like that. I think I can look like the goal of whatever it is that I'm trying to achieve. I just think it's going to take me longer because I'm not touching drugs. So it's going to take more consistency. It's going to take more discipline. It's going to take more years of work. So go back to Stallone. Seeing his physique, I always wanted to look like that. That dude was ripped year round. Yeah. Always.
Yeah.
Couple influences that I follow. I actually met him last summer. He's a completely different body than mine. But his ideologies and what he believes in and the way he trains and his style and his swag. Artemis. Artemis Dogan, the guy that I showed you? He's on Instagram. You probably don't remember, but he's a completely different body than me. Like, I'm talking opposite. But he actually kind of looks like Jerry a little bit. But this dude's mindset. Yeah. So I'm more attracted to people's mindsets.
Sure.
That's what gets me going. And I have a vision of what I want to look like.
Yeah.
5-year plan, 10-year plan. I have it all mapped out. But and it's funny because people will be like, "Why are you always taking photos of yourself? Or why are you doing that?" It's the same thing as
progress.
Trying to paint a mural. or build a car or whatever. It's the same thing, no difference, you know?
Yeah.
You know, so somebody on the outside looking in, they might say, oh, it's a selfish thing to do or whatever it is. But no, it's just a different form of art.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's cool. So
I like that.
Yeah.
That's cool. It's from.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah,
I don't really have an individual I want to look like.
So
but.
From my perspective, and like the sport I'm in with CrossFit, I think it's a little easier to answer that question because there's some people that are always like, they lift more. There's some people that that I know that like they always like either lift more or they like they can achieve higher scores in workouts.
Yep.
So their performance always like inspires me. I'm like, oh, I gotta do better. I gotta do better. Do better. You know what I mean? So that's kind of what I was thinking with that. My friend actually the other day told me, if this is what you had said that brought this into my mind, was like, he's like, don't because my scores have been getting better, partly because of the training we're doing.
Let's go.
But he goes, and he's been training a little bit less. He goes, hey man, don't slow down now. You were just starting to catch up, because he's still like ahead of me with a lot of the scores.
Whatever.
Like, all right.
Nice.
But I use that as fire.
Good.
I use that as motivation. I'm like, all right, let's go, let's get it.
Sweet.
Yeah. So that's kind of where I was thinking with that question. But no, the minds it makes sense because with your sport it's a little different.
Different. Yeah.
So the mindset makes a lot of sense.
Because the genetic, can you talk about like, I guess like in CrossFit, like you could be better than somebody else you could work way harder.
Yeah.
Catch up and be better than the person that you're competing against.
Right.
Bodybuilding's different because you're dealing with genetics.
You're dealing with genetics.
You could have a guy that doesn't work out that hard.
Right.
And you could have somebody like me who fucking trains like insane all the time.
Yeah.
Focus on everything he eats. Focus on every hour of sleep he gets. Works out like a madman. So there's people out there that they just have it. They're born with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And all they gotta do is a little bit, and then they look crazy. You know what I mean? So in order to be, I think I have good genetics, but there's people out there with crazy genetics. You know what I mean?
Man.
To try to compete with somebody else with better genetics or different than genetics, unrealistic.
Yeah.
Unrealistic. It's like trying to compare a truck to a sports car.
Like the guy you were showing me of the carnivore diet.
Yeah.
Well, he looked like at age like 15, just like an absolute beast.
Yeah.
Or Arnold at the age of 15.
He was born. You're talking Michael Hearn. He was like 15.
Oh, Michael Hearn.
270.
Yeah.
And now he stayed the same size his whole life.
Like, what?
You know, I mean,
Nuts.
People want to call people like that for juice. You never know. There's people out there with crazy genetics.
Yeah.
You know? There's got to be.
Even, somebody locally here, a guy like Ash.
Big kid.
He's a huge
strong,
dude. Super strong.
Super strong.
And
he's always been strong. I mean, I remember in high school, this kid he used to call me over and be like, Zach, come over here. I'd be like, what up? He goes, can you spot me? I'm like, oh shit, I got a spot right now. I feel like I was spotting the Hulk, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
this
man.
dude in high school taking 335 on the flat bench.
That's nuts.
Putting it up. I'm like,
I'll never hit that weight in the flat bench.
It's crazy. Whatever's in that coffee, he's probably drinking something in that coffee, yo.
Doesn't even realize.
Yep, he's strong.
And then one last topic I want to ask you on.
Yeah.
It's sort of related. Z Camp.
Oh yeah.
What was the inspiration?
Ooh, so the inspiration originally came from, obviously what I do for a living.
Yeah.
And I thought in my mind, like, okay, I got like a really cool, diverse group of people that I work with on a daily basis. And I'm like, what if we bring them all together?
Yeah.
You know, they're all completely different, like you and like Rebecca and Jerry and my girlfriend and two of my best friends who don't even work out that much, and bring them all together. I'm like, let's go. Alan, who's completely different age group than us. I'm
Tommy,
everybody, the whole group. It was like, at first I was like, oh shit, like this, what if this doesn't work out? I was like super worried about that at first. I was like,
that's the risk you gotta take.
I was like, screw it, let's take the risk, you know. And then it ended up being like super cool.
Yeah,
it was like I had a 50-year-old dude working out with an 18-year-old girl, and this 18-year-old girl's yelling, a 20-year-old girl yelling at him and telling him what to do, and then I'm like, this is dope. Like, this just shows you that, you know, bodybuilding and fitness is a very, it's all about camaraderie. It brings people together, in my opinion. So that's why I thought it was cool, and that was what the inspiration came from. Mm-hmm. So the vision of seeing, you know, how a group of people that don't really have a lot in common, but we all share similar fitness interests, all get together and go hard, see what happens.
Yeah,
it worked out perfect.
That's awesome.
It was fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a great time, man.
Yeah, I'm glad you did it.
That was good.
Which is, I love that about you because, you know, like, I feel like a lot of people that I've met in the CrossFit community, they're super close-minded to bodybuilding. Mm-hmm. And you probably see that.
Oh, yeah.
So meeting you and then seeing you come to my camp, I'm like, this dude is the man. He's like, there's no ego here. Like, this super open-minded. I love this. So, you know, and I love that how you're like, I'm going to go do jiu-jitsu. I'm going to go do a bodybuilding workout with Zach. And I'm going to go do my CrossFit. Like, that's dope.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So, I like it all, man. I try it all.
It's cool.
I will say CrossFit's, for the most part, getting a little better.
Is it?
Because, I wouldn't say that CrossFit is high on injuries.
Yeah.
Especially if you look at CrossFit compared to like soccer, basketball. Those sports have astronomically more injuries than CrossFit does.
Okay.
In general.
Yeah.
But if you compare CrossFit to bodybuilding, there is higher injuries in CrossFit than bodybuilding.
Yeah.
And it's just the nature of the sport. So there has been some like overlap of like CrossFitters using bodybuilding to get better at CrossFit and like to help heal their injuries.
Yeah.
There's a lot of programs coming out like there's a guy named Marcus Philly who's doing like a CrossFit variation of functional bodybuilding. The program Gina's doing is basically a CrossFit variation of like a bodybuilding like, program. Like there's a lot of like carryover now, so I think CrossFit is starting to like come to grips with like, okay, like yeah, we're kind of cultish and we only like this, but actually we can learn a lot from bodybuilding. That's good.
That's how it should be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what's like cool about bodybuilding too is like people think about, it's kind of sad, people think about bodybuilding, they think of it these big juice heads on stage with bubble guts.
Yeah.
And that's not what it is. Bodybuilding is anybody at any level, any type of fitness that decides they want to change the way their body looks. Yeah. That's all bodybuilding is.
Yeah.
And it could be on any level. And they use it in every sport. If a guy comes off of an injury, they put him through some sort of a bodybuilding mixed routine that's going to help him get back to where he was. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it's open for anybody. You don't have to be you don't need to be tanned up. Yeah. You know what I mean? They have none of that, you know?
So. Right. Cool. So we'll start to wrap up.
Yeah.
Anything in store, like for the future? Anything you want to plug that's going on?
Bro, this next podcast was the next one. Let's go.
Hey, let's go.
Yeah, 10 episodes. Let's
go. Let's go. Number 20.
Number 20. Let me know.
And then any shout-outs?
Shout-outs? Ooh, I don't know. I have to think about that.
BullFrogFiT?
Yeah, BullFrogFiT all day. If you're listening and you don't know who we are, come check us out. We're a private fitness facility in Portsmouth, Rhode Island. We opened up a year ago during the pandemic. Put health before anything else. That's what we stand by. Everybody's welcome, no matter if you've never worked out before or if you're, the most fit person on the planet. Anybody's welcome. That's what we do here.
Love it. And very last question. This is a tricky one, but if you have like a favorite quote, a favorite saying, or like some sort of mantra, let's say like you're driving on 95 South, you get one billboard, you took down the Rob Levine advertisement, and you could put something up on the billboard for everybody to see driving down. It could be something long, but like something that you want to like share to the people, something that maybe something inspirational or something that would stand out to you.
Whew.
It's a tough question.
I mean, I got a lot of quotes, but if I was driving down the highway and I seen a billboard that said "Go to the fucking gym," that'd be dope. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I like it.
If you want good material though, like quotes, I'm talking like motivational quotes.
Yeah.
And like the best, like if, let's say you have a hard time getting motivated to work out, and you're having a day and you're just not feeling it.
Yeah.
There's a dude who I've listened to since the beginning of my fitness journey. His name's Greg Plitt. He was like the OG. He was one of the original men's physique competitors.
Okay.
He's like kind of like the Rich Froning.
Yeah.
He's he's one of the pioneers of CrossFit.
Yeah.
So this guy was just a freak, like just unbelievable. His work ethic was crazy. Dude was like the original YouTuber for bodybuilding, like the OG, like one of the first guys to like start doing motivational speeches, raw, uncut videos, just him talking to the mic, no clips, no cuts, nothing. Huh. And he passed away doing a video by accident.
No way.
Hit by a train, and this was in 2016.
No way.
Yeah, terrible. But his videos are all still up, and you can go watch them. And I'll tell you. You could be any kind of athlete. Go watch his videos. You'll be like, he'll move you. Like he'll pump you up. So Greg Plitt, check his.
All right.
If you need quotes, like talk about that billboard, that's the first thing that came to my mind. Was his videos.
So may say go on
YouTube.
Go to the gym and then go on YouTube.
Yes.
Go look up Greg Plitt.
Hell yeah.
That'll give you some inspiration.
Yep.
I like that. That's a good answer.
Go to the fucking gym on the billboard right there.
That's a good answer. Hey, that's good. Good. Well, hey, dude, it was fun.
Thanks for having me, bro.
Definitely do it again.
Appreciate it. Let's go. Whatever you want.
Sweet. All right, BullFrogFiT Studios signing off. Sweet, dude.
That was dope.
That was awesome, right?
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. That was fun.
Dude, a lot of